Good morning. Oh, happy Tuesday. My apologies for being on here later than I normally would like. Oh, I hope everyone is doing well this morning. Can I tell y'all real quick before I dive in? My 24-year-old, he's walking out, and I wanted to say goodbye to him before he left for work. And I look at his backpack, and I'm like, "Is that my thermos?" He said, "Yeah." I said, "That's my thermos." He said, "Yeah, but it keeps my water cold." I said, "Well, where's your water bottle?" Good morning. I said, "Where's your water bottle?" He said, "Well, your thermos keeps my water colder." I was like, "But that's my thermos that I use to keep my drinks hot when I go to work." I said, "We got to get you a thermos." But this kid really, and thankfully, I'm drinking my drink now. I was like, "But this kid really confiscated my thermos because it keeps his water colder than his water bottle." Yeah, no kidding. That's why I bought it. Okay. So you know what I'm probably gonna do, right? I'm probably gonna let him keep that one and buy another one because that's the kind of mom I am. Good morning, y'all. Happy Tuesday. We're working through the Abundance book by John Randolph Price. This is day 34. And hold on a second. So normally I write out the statement before I come on, and I didn't because I was running late. This is partly how I keep track. Y'all thought I was doing this for y'all. No, I was doing this for me to keep track, and I just invited you all along for the journey. So I'm gonna open up my book so that when I'm finished, I remember to write the statement because I never got this far and it had to stop. And I would peeve myself if I got off here and then didn't remember. So this bad boy's sitting right here in front of me until we finish. All right. If you don't know who I am or what this craziness is, my name is Devi Maisha, and I am the Sensual Energy Alchemist. I am a master life coach and a teacher of sacred sexuality, and my business, Sensual Energy Alchemy, reconnects Black women to their freedom, their sovereignty, and their power through sensuality and pleasure. And we have been working through the Abundance book by John Randolph Price. We are on day 34, which means we are circling back to statement 4. We're on the last 10 days of this. So after this, look, my math is rusty, y'all. So we have 6 days after today. 6 days. And for those of you who are in the Facebook group, we are going to do a wrap up call around this and just go through what you noticed in the beginning, what you noticed at the midpoint, and what you've noticed about your journey now. And I see how some of you have shifted just in the Facebook group. Thank you so much for participating in there. So let's read statement 4. Through my consciousness of my God self, the Christ within, as my source, I draw into my mind and feeling nature the very substance of spirit. This substance is my supply. Thus, my consciousness of the presence of God within me is my supply. I'm going to read it again, switch it up a little bit. Through my consciousness of my goddess self, the Christ within, as my source, I draw into my mind and feeling nature the very substance of spirit. This substance is my supply. Thus, my consciousness of the presence of goddess within me is my supply. You know, I'm not sure who decided that God was going to be a he. Like, who made that determination? Like, somebody decided that. It's probably a he. Because it's always interesting to me that one would think that a he can create and give birth to things all by himself when our existence proves that not to be true. So I'm just always curious about who made that decision, and most of us just kind of go along with it. And it's like, I don't know. All right, so it's interesting that today, I tell you these things, hold on a second. These things work themselves out. Yeah, exactly. Like, oh yeah, I'm confused about that too, Radiant Name. I don't know. So it's interesting that I don't always remember what the statements are, but I must in my subconscious still feel what they are. Before I did my statement, as I said, I hadn't written it yet. And normally I write it and then it And then from there, if I haven't already planned something, something will come forth. This morning, I was like, I wanted to talk about sigils. So it's interesting that it says, through my consciousness of my God or goddess self, the Christ within as my source, I draw into my mind and feeling nature the very substance of spirit. Because that's what we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about sigils and symbols. Good morning. Sigils and symbols for money workings, right? And how you can incorporate these in your life. Now, we know the power that symbols have. Symbols are etched in our minds. It's the way uh, before we had letters and things of that nature. And when I talk about we, I want to be. When I talk about we, I'm talking about what came to be known as the continent of Africa. Because if you notice, when we talk about we historically, for many of us, the first things that pops into our mind is European history, because that's what we were taught first. So when we think about when we created language, we're thinking about cave men in caves drawing symbols and things. We're not actually thinking about people on the continent of Africa who were creating symbols and doing all that and created the alphabet and all that ended up becoming what the Greeks and the Romans. Yeah, we could do a whole history thing. So when I say we, I'm speaking about the we that were here and then created the rest of everybody else. Okay, because I want us to be clear on where things began. Okay, so when we were creating, we used a lot of symbols. When we were hunting, when we wanted rain to fall, when we wanted to deliver messages, we used symbols. When we wanted to create a message and we wanted to craft it in such a way that it could only be interpreted by a mystic, we created symbols. And those symbols had meaning. We've been doing this since time began, since we've been here on this planet. Even to this day, a logo is a symbol. When we see the swoosh, we know it means Nike. When we see that M, we know it's McDonald's. So the idea of sigils and symbols being etched in our minds and having a connection is not a new thing. It's not a witchcrafty thing. It's not a devil thing. It's a human thing. It is how things can stay in our subconscious mind, even when we think we've forgotten it. To this day, some of us can see symbols of things from when we were children, and we immediately know what it was. Not a picture of it, just a symbol. We know what it was, right? So sigils and symbols can help to create a connection between the desire and the subconscious that can help to create the environment where the desire comes forth. Well, we're talking about energy here. So learning about, I'd like to give y'all some some practical knowledge stuff for the people who want that as well. Right? So let's get over here. So sigils and symbols. The root of sigil comes from the Latin word sigillum, which means seal. Did I ever tell y'all that when I was in the 5th grade, we took Latin? I was in private school and they wanted us to learn Latin because it was the root of all languages. And even then I was kind of like, no, it's the root of all European languages. It's not the root of all languages. But anyway, we had to learn Latin in the 5th grade. And then I started taking Spanish in the 6th grade. And I was like, okay, this feels like home because I'm in New York City. And that's what we speak outside of English. All right. So it comes from the Latin word sigillum, which means seal. And if you notice, the root of sigillum and the root of sigil is also in the word signature, sign, that SIG. It's like it's an agreement. It's an agreement that's being made. When you sign a document, when you put your signature on the paper, you're agreeing to something. So a sigil is a seal. It's an agreement between you, your desire, the universe, this divine abundance that wants to flow through you, you are creating an agreement by creating this symbol. Okay. And I like to break these things down for some of the sort of churchy folk who may be intrigued and watching, but still feel like, I don't know. I don't know. I want y'all to feel all right. Okay. All right. So it's a kind of symbol used in magic. And we've talked about what magic is. Okay, we're not making it sound weird. Magic is a like a belief in the supernatural, and we've established, I don't know, we've established that even the belief in something higher that you cannot necessarily see, but you have extended your belief to say it exists, is just a little supernatural. Okay, it's a little supernatural. The belief that exists that someone died and then rose from the dead, it's a little supernatural. And that's okay, but it's a little supernatural. So when we talk about magic, that's what we're talking about. It's a little beyond the natural. Okay. So it's a kind of symbol that's used. Now I'm gonna talk to you about how you can create your own sigil. I'm giving a basic overview. I have created sigils. I have carved them in my candles. Um, I have used them as seals of protection, and I have used them in money workings as well. So this is a basic overview. Feel free to Google. You will find again like 15,000, well, probably not 15,000, maybe like 8 different folk who say different things about sigils. So I'm not giving you the gospel. I'm giving you an introduction. And then from there, you know what to do because sovereignty, right? Okay. So a sigil is a symbolic representation of your desired outcome, the thing that you would like to come to you. And you are taking your intentions and you're turning into a statement similar to an affirmation, right? You're using the I am. It's not I will, it's the I am. You are making an agreement. We've covered this. It's so funny how these things all led up to the things that we're doing now when I think about it. But so you're creating your I am statement that's believable. Okay, we went over that with the affirmations piece about a week or so back. And then we're going to create a symbol from those letters. That's how you create a sigil. Now, sigils can be permanent, they can be temporary, they can be destructible. The destructible sigils people sometimes use when they create a symbol and then they're burning it, right? That they want to that's how the energy is released, is in the burning of it. Some people carve it into candles. Like I said, I have done that. You can make it permanent. Some people get tattoos of their sigils, or it's a painting hanging in their home, carved into pottery or something that they have. So it's the energy is always there, and then it's recharged every now and again under the light of whichever moon works with whatever intention you are or we're looking to create. What did I want to say? So I want to talk about charging sigils. So you're charging anything with your energy, whether that be your candles. Yes, you can charge your crystals in moonlight. You can also charge your crystals with your energy. Remember, you are this living, walking piece of this rich, omnipresent substance of the universe, which means you are a small battery of this rich, omnipresent substance of the universe. By the way, this is why I don't get really excited about sexual demons or having to do all kinds of craziness to cleanse myself, because I am a part of the rich, omnipresent substance of the universe. I am a woman. I am very powerful. If I would like to clear something out of my womb, I do it. Period. So I'm not afraid of all of these things and attachments. And because I'm clear and discerning, I also don't need to be afraid. And if things don't work out the way my ego would like them to, I'm also understanding that that was a lesson for me. You see, so I had to veer off for a minute because I just get a little disturbed when I see people getting it's very much religious to me when I see folks telling women what they should or shouldn't do because of all the attachments. Be aware for sure, but don't be afraid. Okay, don't ever go into sex afraid. Okay. All right. So let's talk about the steps to creating a sigil. All right. Step one, and I have an example that I've written here. Step one, you're gonna write out your statement. You're gonna keep it short. You're gonna keep it sweet. You're not gonna write out a whole entire story. I mean, if you want to, that's fine. That's a lot of sigil that you're, well, not a lot, because I'm gonna show you how to condense it. All right. So step one is write out the statement and keep it short. So I use the example of I am wealthy. Okay, I am wealthy. It's not a doubt in my mind about that. And step two, you're going to remove all the vowels and extra letters, right? So I am wealthy. I'm taking out the A. I'm taking out the E. I'm taking out the other A, right? Because we're taking out the vowels. For the purposes of this, Y was not a vowel. Whatever your grammar school teacher taught you, A, E, I, O, U, and sometimes Y. You leave it, don't leave it. I don't, it makes no, do what you want to do with the Y. And so what I was left with was the I, the M, the W, the L, the T, the H, and or the Y. From those letters, I would draw them on a page, and I would start with the I, and then I would add in the W, the M, the W, and the point of this is not to make some museum-worthy hanging, and who determines what that is anyway. The point of this is not to draw like a pretty picture. The point of this is to allow your hand to be guided, allow that rich omnipresent substance to guide you, and just create the thing. Now the letters must combine together, so you're not putting them on a paper, because you want the energy to be in sync, to be together, to be cohesive. Some people would say you're not supposed to let the pen or pencil leave the paper. To those of you who can draw like that well, that's a beautiful thing. I believe that I can charge my sigil even if I pick my pen up off my paper. Why? Because I'm part of the rich omnipresent substance of the universe. So if I'm drawing my letters and my pen leaves the paper, the pen doesn't have the power. The paper doesn't have the power. I've got the power. So when I put it back down, guess what I've just done? I've just re-sparked the whole entire thing. That's my way of doing it. Okay, like I said, 7 other ways out there, right? But you want to bring the letters together so that they create one symbol. You can Google sigil and look it up. We're not doing a masterclass on this so that I share my screen and show you and all of that. But that's what you want to do. Take out step 1, write your statement, keep it short. Step 2, remove the vowels and any repeated consonants. Step 3, create a symbol that combines the remaining letters. Okay. Step 4, you're going to charge your sigil with your energy and intention. You can put your hands over it, put it close to your heart, put it on your third eye, put it on your genitals, whatever you need to do that charges it for you, where you are feeling the intention. It could be your left thigh or your right knee. Y'all, please don't get dogmatic with these things. Wherever you are feeling the intention and you are guided to charge it, that is how I work my magic. I do not go by everyone's book. That's just not how I work. So you want to charge your sigil with your energy and your intention. Sit with it in meditation. Look at it. Just let it become one with you. It is no longer just something on the paper. Now it is something that lives in you, especially if it's something you want to draw to you. It lives in you. You want to embody this creation. Step 5, decide what you want to do with the sigil. Are you burning it to release the energy? Are you going to carve it into a candle? If I'm using I am wealthy, I'll probably carve that sigil into a candle, most likely into a 7-day candle, because it's easier to carve it on top. Carving into taper candles is rough because they're so skinny. I've done it, but it's rough. So you can carve it into your candle. And you can, again, piece of pottery. Do you want to create a painting out of the thing? Put the sigil on the paper and then paint over it and hang it somewhere. Get feng shui with it and put it in the spot in your home where wealth is said to live. I don't know that much about feng shui, so I can't answer those questions. All right. Then after that, you forget about it. You let the sigil do its work. You don't obsess over it. You don't go staring at it every single day. You just let it do what it needs to do in the ethers and in your subconscious mind, knowing and trusting that that connection is there and it exists, knowing and trusting that your energy and intention that is connected to the rich, omnipresent substance of the universe that you are embodied as, that you are a walking, living, breathing specimen of, that it is doing its job. Because as we've discovered in these statements, that is its job. Its job is to just be all that can be. Your job is to let it. Right? So this is, it's short and sweet today because it's an actual, just like a teaching lesson. So this is how you can create sigils for yourself. Symbols for yourself around your wealth, your health, love. Do not, I know I say I don't tell y'all what to do. Do not do love spells or sigils with a specific person in mind. Do not. I might do a class on, I'm gonna eventually do a class on that inside of my community. For those of you asking why should I not do that? I'm gonna do a class on it inside of my community. Okay, so that's it for today. Sigils. Let me go over it again. Step 1, write out the statement. Try and keep it short. Step 2, remove all the vowels, extra consonants. You want one consonant for, so if they're repeating consonants, take out the extras. Step 3, create a symbol that combines all of the remaining letters. Step 4, charge the sigil with your energy and intention. And step 5, decide what you're going to do with it. Is it temporary? Are you burning it? Is it destructible? Are you burning it? Is it temporary? Are you carving it into your food and eating it and ingesting it? Are you putting it on a candle? Yes, you can put sigils in your food and then ingest that too. Absolutely. Absolutely. Or you can, if I were doing a sigil for my health, for instance, and as a prayer, I know I said forget about it, but see, this is why I'm saying some of this stuff to me is, what is your intention? I might create a sigil or symbol and wave it over my food before I eat it. I might do that. I might do it for 7 days. I don't know. It would depend on how I felt about it. But does it make sense that one would do that too? And then let the subconscious do the work. Okay. All right. So a couple of announcements as I just mentioned, doing a class on why one should not do love spells in the Sensual Oasis for Black women. Beginning in February, I will be doing weekly teachings inside of the Oasis weekly live streams will happen in there. And so you will be able to watch the live streams just like you're watching now from the comfort of your home. You don't have to use a Zoom link for it. I just go live. And that will begin in February. The first teaching is around sexual energy being used as healing energy, I believe, is what I have in the events. And there will be one every week. So the next one may be around why we don't do love spells. Okay, we don't do love spells with specific people in mind. That might be the second one. There may be no rhyme or reason to my teachings in the way of it's not curriculum based or set, but I do have curriculum based set teachings inside of the Pleasure Library, which is where all of the live streams will also live as well. So these will be standalone teachings. You can come on into the Sensual Oasis for Black women through January 31st for $25 a month. Once you're in at $25 a month, that will remain your membership fee. There's a 7-day trial, so you can come in, try it out for 7 days. You'll want to stay. And if you decide to leave, you can. It's month to month. There are no contracts or anything like that. February 1st, membership will go up to $97. So if you'd like to join, or you're thinking you'd like to join, I would say join at the $25 level that I'm offering right now. Otherwise, beginning February 1st, in order to come in, it's going to be $97. So now would be the time to do that. Black Tantra Group is having our retreat April 25th through the 28th. We've got spots secured already in the house. So if you're single and you're thinking about staying in the house, you will want to get your deposit in. Payment plans are available, but your deposit will secure your spot in the house. Once the rest of the spots in the house are taken, you will stay at the hotel that we have close by with the other singles who will also be staying there, and the couples who we advise stay at the hotel for privacy. And then that might be a good idea for some of the singles to stay there, and y'all get to know each other at the hotel. So that's kind of cool too. You can use the code BTG, that's for Black Tantra Group, BTG 2024, to get 10% off of your deposit. Deposits are $350 for singles who want to stay in the house. I think $200 for singles who are staying at the hotel, and $500 for couples who are all just staying at the hotel. So you can go to the website and decide for yourself where you'd like to stay, and we would love to see you there. I like the sigil and food idea. I may draw one on my supplement bottles. Yes, absolutely. That is a great idea. I've actually not thought about that, but you can do that. You absolutely can, to increase your health for sure. I love that. What else did I want to tell you about? Oh, Black Coffee, Honey, and Grits. Where are we? Black Coffee, Honey, and Grits. We are 5 women that come together and host events in support of Black women. We are having our brunch May 5th here in the New York, New Jersey area. We would love to see you. Please go ahead and get on our mailing list so that you know when we've secured our space, so that you can put down your deposit to save your seat. You can also follow us on YouTube, where we go live every third Saturday of the month and do our live podcast there. And you can also follow us on Instagram and Facebook. And we also have a Facebook group. So we would love to see you in there. And last but not least, I should create a banner for this. I'm going to create a banner for this. I'm hosting open houses all of February. It is free for the ladies. Well, it's for the ladies. It's not that there's a charge for men. It's for the ladies. It is free. Sensual open house. All right, because you got to spell Bitly correctly, otherwise y'all be coming for me. You can sign up for one Sunday or all 4 Sundays. We're going to meet February every Sunday in February at 3 p.m. We're going to meet Eastern Standard Time for the Pathways to Pleasure open house. I'm going to just read you what it says on the landing page because I like it. I love it. I'm excited about it. So join me every Sunday in February to discuss judgments, fears, and misconceptions around your sensual and sexual expression and self-pleasure. We'll talk about ways to create a pleasure map for yourself that will lead you out of sexual shame and into freedom and power. Your pleasure map can be your guide to a deeper relationship with yourself and your lover, and offer you liberation from the cultural, societal, and religious constraints that have held you back from your most authentic sensual expression. The end result is a shift in your energy from shame and fear to empowered and confident. You'll create clarity on how to live life as your most authentic self, experience more joy and orgasmic pleasure, and you'll feel more connected to your body. During the open house, you'll also have an opportunity to learn about membership to my private community, the Sensual Oasis for Black women, and my upcoming offering, 5 Pathways to Pleasure. I am excited about this open house. It will happen every Sunday in February. You can come to one. You can come to all 4. It is up to you. You can come back and learn some more. Spend some time with me. Let's hang out. But it will be February, 3 p.m., all 4 Sundays in February. And also because it's Valentine's Day month, some of the women out there, maybe this month needs to be spent with you just really diving into your own self-pleasure instead of worrying about who you are or aren't going out on a date with who you are or aren't spending Valentine's Day with. Just let yourself be your lover in February. Just let's do that, okay? And from there, you may find that you attract the love that you now have within you. So I would love for you ladies to join me. Hey, Paris. I would love for you, ladies. I said Paris. I was going to call this Parish. I would love for you ladies to join me in February for this fun time we're going to have at the Sensual Open House. You can go ahead and sign up there for the free, and I will see you there. And I think that's it. You know, I mean, here's my regular link if you want to get to know some other things that are happening. But I really just want you to come on just come to the open house. It'll be a lot of fun. All right, that is it for today. I'm going to read statement 4 again. Then I'm going to jump off so I can write it, because we will not forget to do that on day 34, okay? Through my consciousness of my goddess self within, the Christ within, as my source, I draw into my mind and feeling nature the very substance of spirit. This substance is my supply. Thus, my consciousness of the presence of goddess within me is my supply. I'll read it one more time the way it's written in the book. Through my consciousness of my God self, the Christ within, as my source, I draw into my mind and feeling nature the very substance of spirit. This substance is my supply. Thus, my consciousness of the presence of God within me is my supply. It's Tuesday. It's Mars Day. It's an action day. Go get your red on. I mean, I'm wearing pink, which is a derivative, but go get your action going today. Get your fire activated in you. That's what Tuesdays are for. And I will see you all back here tomorrow for day 35. Have a great day. Bye.